People, we are back, and we're going to start working on the lower half trim here and the hooves a little bit. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do with them, so not going to get too far with them. But we're going to start at least on the trim. And the first thing we're going to do is we already notched out right above the hoof. Alright, so just an angled cut, just to give some divide between the actual trim and the hoof. Sorry guys, it's getting late here, so I'm getting a little tired. This will probably be the last clip for the night. Luckily I load all the clips at once if I can, instead of putting them out little by little. I think doing them all at once, it just holds y'all's attention better, since I don't use editing equipment or all that to do one long video with speeding things up and all that. I think it's just easier to do clips and upload each clip, and people can pick and choose what stage they want to look at. Oh, I'm paying attention, and our little wire's a little loose now. Alright, so did an angle cut in that way. Do another angle cut here. And these lines we drew are actually to make sure the symmetry of the hoof goes all the way back to the back here too. That's when I was still fighting, trying to figure out how to get our rough form carved out, which, I mean, it was a doozy. Just the odd shape of this, and having the horns on one side, not the other, and the thickness of the wood. It just really created a bit of a headache trying to figure out how to get our rough form out. But we got the rough form and our rough shapes coming together pretty nice. Although this wood, man, this wood is just garbage. When I buy my wood, anybody who's familiar with wood carving, especially small stuff like this, when you buy your wood, you pick up the block and you inspect it and all that. You can feel which ones are more dense than others, not only just by the texture of it, but the weight will be a lot different. And the only block they had in this thickness didn't feel very dense, didn't feel very heavy, and compared to the thinner blocks that I normally use. But I needed one this thick, so I went ahead and went with it, and man, I'm just having a heck of a time trying to suss it out. I just got an idea, people. Instead of cutting all this off, since our hooves are going to be in front, to keep it level so it can sit flat like this. Alright guys? So it sits flat like this and not rock one way or the other. We're going to take our trim here and we're just going to blend it in this way somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, because I just now got the idea. I'm just kind of knocking the square edges off real quick. Yeah, shoot, because we have gaps here. Oh, damn. Good idea. Just a little late on the thought, since we've already notched that out. Shoot. How the heck are we going to do that then? I mean, we can take a good amount off here. Ah, shoot. We can take a fair amount off and still not have that problem. We're gonna have like an upskirt type deal though on Krampus, which is not the case in the movie. It drapes all the way down. It's actually got a, what is it called on those real fancy dresses when we wear a train, where it drapes way back here. It actually has a train on it like that, which once again, I did not have a big enough piece of wood. I thought about grabbing some scraps and attaching to it, but then I just didn't know how that would translate. And if we're going to put real fabric on later, we might be able to tackle it then. See, like I said, man, just logistically, man, this has been a tough carving so far, and we're still a really good ways away from being done. Doggone, man. Yeah, this has been tough. It's been tough. Because, like I said, we always put the detail into the carving. That way, if like my little haphazard ideas, like putting real cloth material and it's actual really dark crimson crushed velvet, got from the fabric department at the store. Should look really cool. And actually, for the white trim, it's going to use like not cotton balls, but it's a material kind of like that at the craft store. And to give it that faded, dirty look like he has in the movie, some of y'all might think it's a little gross, but you can't argue with the result. I was going to take it and actually drag it through my fireplace and then shake it off real good so that a lot of the real heavy soot and ash comes off, but that staining and dirtiness stays on it. So it's a little dirty, but it's gonna be pretty realistic. And the fact that that's why his costume, especially the white trim and all that, is so funky, going down chimneys and stuff. Which that's another thing. I mean, it looked cool cinematically. I mean, it looked amazing cinematically in the movie when he finally has his big reveal coming down the chimney and his hands come out and then his horns come out and all that. Really cool looking in the movie. Cannot deny with how cool it looks. But the scene just before that, daggone elves had crashed through the window, and it's not like it's a tiny window. It's a huge, huge window in the front of the house. So when Krampus does his little fucking yodel, pardon my language, guys, slipping up tonight. Like I said, I'm getting tired. Anyway, when he does his little screech noise, which is really cool sound for his character, but when he does a little noise, calls the elves away, instead of coming down the chimney, why wouldn't he just come through the window that they just busted a big old hole through? Because I thought they were going to slip up after the family runs away and the grandma stays behind to, I guess, distract Krampus. I mean, I don't know what the heck she thought she was doing. He's a big old demonic Santa. Like, what could she possibly do? They couldn't even kill all the minions. Anyways, I thought they were going to screw up and have them beating on the door like they're locked out and oh, there's no way to get in. But they did do a callback. The dad just called back and says, "Oh, the window," and then the son stops him. So I was like, "Cool, at least y'all weren't dumb enough to have the window smashed out and then pretend like it wasn't when it's time to try and get back in the house for a second." Let's see. Notch that a little bit more. There we go. I gotta try and get my camera angles, guys. Sorry. Fading on you guys, man. Getting tired. Been working on this for quite a few hours today. That's one thing I don't think people really can get the gist of with all these carvings I do. Is I do short clips, and some of the clips, like in this one particularly, I'm sure the clips are going to be quite long. But however long the clips are, especially in total, once I post them and you can watch the whole thing, it takes me several more hours than just those clips show. Like I said, I normally don't show a lot of the tedious, boring crap because, I mean, who would have an interest in that? I showed a little bit more of it in this one just because there's no way around it without doing a lot without y'all seeing. And the whole point of posting these is so y'all can see it and hopefully be inspired to do some carvings of your own. Alright, don't want to forget, he's got a little furry tufts there. So we're just going to etch that in with the knife so I don't forget. Finally looked up a minute ago, see what the heck's playing on the TV in the background. And it's those old stop motion puppet Christmas movies. A lot of these are ones I've never even seen, like Pinocchio and Leprechaun's Gold. But I do dig those old puppeteer style ones. They always creeped me out when I was little. Like, if you go back as an adult, go back and watch some of those and tell me that some of those daggone characters aren't just kind of creepy. To be a stop motion kind of puppet. Alright guys, well, one particularly long clip. Longer probably than it should have been for the amount we got done. Because I don't feel we really accomplished much in that. Got a little bit of an idea. I mean, can't really remove those without giving it a lifted look. But need to figure out how to tie those back into the trim. Oh, here, let's go ahead and almost forgot we didn't edge this side out. Yeah, see, here's another example for you guys. When you're starting to make mistakes like I am, like forgetting what you're doing because you've been working too long, that's when you need to take a minute and stop. Go back to it a few hours later, or in this case, since it's late here, go back to it the next day. So like I said, this will be the last clip for the night, and then we'll get back at it tomorrow. And see, the crazy thing is I started with this first because I was thinking about doing 2 Krampuses. Alright, so this one is from the recent movie, the good movie. There's actually several knockoff, just downright crap Krampus movies. Not only is the Krampus monster, if that's what you want to call him, the Krampus character, not only are they just garbage, but the storylines are crap too. I think one reason I liked this Krampus movie so much is the same director and writer that did the Trick or Treat movies. Well, not movies, movie. The same one who did that also did this, and his just use of practical special effects makeup is the stuff I just love because you don't see it very often anymore. And when it's done well like it was in this movie, I mean, it's just mind-blowing. Oh, another thing I thought, guys, won't find out till after the fact, but y'all can still comment if you want, if you think it's a good idea. After I post this and this is finished, here's an idea. There's the one scene they put in the movie, kind of like a homage to the old style Krampuses, where his tongue is all hanging out, just this long, nasty looking tongue. I thought about carving a separate piece that I can stick in his mouth as like a prop, and you can always take it out when you don't want it in there. But just a thought. But back to what I was saying. Here's the other Krampus. This is the old pictures you used to find of Krampus, the folklore type pictures. I thought about doing 2. I thought about doing this one from the movie, and then doing original folklore style. If you notice, you got, actually I don't know if you can notice, let me highlight it with the pen real quick. See, he's got his long tongue there, alright? I don't know how well I can see. He's got his long tongue there. He's got one hoof, and he's got one, like, human foot. He's supposed to have, I guess the proper term over there in Europe is a fag of sticks, a bundle of sticks. Or birch branches, I believe is what it's called. There's the exact ones that he beats the kids with and all that. Really, really bad guy as far as a Christmas character, but I thought about doing both of these. Don't know if I'm going to have enough time after fooling with this pain in the butt, but that was the idea. If I get around to him, then I'll be just a bonus for you guys. I might even do it as like a giveaway for Christmas. Better to give than receive. But anyway, guys, it's getting late. I'm rambling, making some mistakes, forgetting what I'm doing. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it off here, guys. And we are making progress, making pretty good progress. Need to go back to the old think tank to hash out what to do about the bottom of the feet here, and just the general shaping of them more. I really wish we could get that train of the drape of this material coming back further. So I might, even though I don't want to, I might find an extra piece of wood and do a little attachment. Never done one that's going to be that large, but we might do that just for the sake of aesthetics. But we'll be back with our next clip tomorrow, guys, and hopefully we can make some more progress then when the brain's had a little bit more time to sleep.